What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 11th Hour Game Channel. I am AJ Gels, and you're watching the 11th Hour. This is my channel's weekly news segment, which usually goes up every week on Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, although I am realizing at the time that I'm recording this, which is about 10:44 on Friday. Sorry, I had stuff last night. Usually record on Thursdays. This probably won't be up by noon. Sorry about that. School just started a couple weeks ago. Everything's a little crazy. If you, my last video, doesn't have a thumbnail, that doesn't have the real thumbnail. I don't have the usual topic list of events and whatnot in the description. I'm sorry about that. I'll do better with that, from this point on. That's, I'm sorry. I got class also in about an hour, so, the wheels are spinning faster than they usually do. But if you notice, I'm all freshly shaved. Well, maybe not freshly shaved, but yeah, my beard is. Oh, my beard! I miss my beard. No, guys. Basically, the way this works, for anybody who's new, I troll. I'm a big fan of IGN. I follow their website. I follow a bunch of people on, like Game Informer, GameSpot, Paragon, all those guys. I follow them on Twitter. So basically, I pull news stories all week. I stop about Thursday night. I make my notes. I think I got about 4 pages for you guys today. I make my notes and then I read them and, like I said, I'm sorry, I'm getting a text message while I'm recording this. Then I record this, throw it out there, you guys to watch. And like I said earlier, I do a list of events down in the description. That is, if you don't have an interest in a specific news story, they're time slotted, so you can skip to one that interests you. Is that all the housekeeping I have? Yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping I have for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and without further ado, the news. I'm going to start this week off with probably one of the biggest kind of news stories that was kind of going around, that Sony is now consolidating all PlayStation arms, all parts that make up PlayStation, under one name, and that is Sony Interactive Entertainment. This basically is going to fuse, making sure I get this right, Sony Computer Entertainment Incorporated and Sony Network Entertainment International. Those are forming. Again, this Sony Interactive Entertainment, Shuhei Yoshida and Andrew House, two names I know, both retaining their current titles. I believe Andrew House is. Oh God, now I'm blanking here. I think he's CEO or president of PlayStation. And right now, Shuhei Yoshida's exact job title is slipping. I feel terrible for not knowing that. I'm sorry. But yeah, they're keeping their titles for any other switches, anything. Yeah, you can check out this article by Samit Sarkar over at Paragon. Again, if you want, they have a full breakdown of how the command structure is going. Andrew House top, branches. Moving on. Overkill's The Walking Dead has been delayed to the second half of 2017. This is a little interesting. This will not be if anybody remembers AMC's The Walking Dead, the survival instinct game. That was, I didn't mind it. But, generally considered a bad game. Apparently, this is going to be an FPS. I'm sorry, my voice is going a little bit. This is going to be an FPS kind of like co-op game, basically in the style of Payday, which is not surprising, being Overkill, the studio who brought you Payday. Let's see here. I have a quote here. This is directly from the article. This is word for word what Wesley Copeland of IGN, by the way, is the writer of this article, writes, this news comes following a $40 million investment by Korean game company Smilegate into the game's publisher, Starbreeze. Starbreeze being, I'm kind of breaking quote. Starbreeze is the publishing side of Overkill. So Overkill's the development arm of Starbreeze. So there you go. He's starting back up with the quote, the $40 million investment, game publisher Starbreeze. The deal sees Starbreeze receive a 10-year right to develop, publish, and distribute a new entry in Smilegate's Crossfire franchise, which has around 500 million users to date. So that's I thought I'd include that, something interesting if you know what the Crossfire franchise is, which frankly I don't. Sorry. Yeah, that's all. But kind of looking forward though. In Payday news, actually, I do have a little bit of something. And this is again a quote directly from an article by Michael Pasalquah, I think is how it's pronounced. I'm sorry, it's Passalcqua. I've done this for about like the past 3 weeks. I cannot pronounce this guy's name. Like I said, this is over at IGN, and this is a direct quote from his article. Ulf Anderson, co-founder of Overkill Software, and co-creator of Payday, is working on a new co-op FPS with his new studio, 10 Chamber Collective. This is interesting. It's like, well, what is this? Again, it's another game, kind of like, again, it's like Payday. I guess that wasn't in Payday news. I'm sorry, I misread my notes. God damn it, guys, I'm sorry. Valkyria Chronicles, is that how that's pronounced? Valkyria? Yeah, I think that's Valkyria, is coming to the West this spring. Super pumped about this, because I remember seeing this game, because, it was the last gen, it was on a PS3 thing, and, this is obviously the remastered for PS4. I'm interested in this because, it's a World War II based tactical strategy RPG like game. Reminds me a lot of if anybody knows Operation Darkness, which is generally considered to be a bad game. I still say one of my favorite games I have on 360. I really interests me. I love the World War II era, the history. Well, granted, I don't think this is like inspired. You know what I mean? It's inspired by the gameplay looked cool. I'm excited about this. Coming. Very excited. Apparently the features updated visuals, so it'll run at 1080p, 60 frames a second, and all DLC for the game. This will be a retail and digital release, and according to this article, will cost $30. This article by Seth G. Macy over at IGN. Thank you for that, Seth G. Macy. Also in tactical strategy, tactical games. I'm sorry. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced is now out on Wii U Virtual Consoles. I'm sorry if I'm sitting in my chair, I'm like tilting back. This will be $8. It supports off TV play. If I don't know, and you don't know what that is. It's like you play on your like gamepad thing. I'm sorry, I'm making like hand gestures that aren't in the shot. I'm sorry. My camera's a little steeper than I'm used to. I'm sorry. This is from Alex Osborne over at IGN. This game came as I've not heard of this game at all. Conan Exiles, coming Q2 2016. I have no idea what this game looks really cool. Like if you go out and find the trailer, it looked really cool, but CG trailers and whatnot. But the idea of this game is really interesting. Basically, this is a possible open world. It seemed like an open world kind of survival game. It has the tagline, I believe, survive, build, dominate. This game is being made by Funcom, who created people who did the MMO Age of Conan. I can't get the last part. I'm sorry. I'm not an MMO guy. Basically, early access on PC, coming summer 2016. Full launch on PC and console to follow. That is, I can't remember. I think that was from the article. I'm sorry, directly. And this article was by Steven Strom of IGN. And I checked out this game's like the actual webpage, and from what I'm seeing, I'm gonna put money that you're like building a tribe and like settlements and like you're raising an empire out in this like wasteland kind of thing. You're playing as Conan, and apparently other people can come into your game. You can be friends or invade, and it's one of those kind of games. Really interesting. No idea what. Still, I don't know enough about this game. We're probably gonna see it at E3. All right, Paragon beta registration is open, as a direct quote from Paragon's Twitter page. If you don't know what Paragon is, I believe Epic Games MOBA hero shooter like game. I believe coming to console. at least PS4. I think both consoles and PC. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break, kind of off the news, and this is something that I was listening to this week's episode of PS I Love You XOXO. Big shout out to the guys over at Kind of Funny. I love your content. Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm getting tongue tied. This is what happens when I diverge from the notes. I'm a big fan. They're big inspiration on what I'm doing right now with this show and my YouTube channel. They're talking. Somebody asked them a question. It's like how do they see Uncharted 4 ending? It's the whole Neil Druckmann's kind of come out and said that it's going to be they're being really cagey about it. It's like they're not saying Nate dies, but they're like it'll be really hard to do a sequel after this game. And I'm sitting here going, oh, okay. And everybody's like, oh, somebody's going to die. It's a thief's end. And I'm sitting here going, well, it would be hard to do a sequel to that game if Nate ends up crippled, unless you play as a different character. And that, I don't know. I don't see them going that way. And I'm sorry, being crippling people is not something to laugh about. But either way, and everybody's like, it's going to be Nate or it's going to be Sully. I hear very few, if any, people saying Elena, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I am placing my flag in the ground. I'm calling it. Elena Fisher dies. Uncharted 4. Calling it. And it's my theory behind this is Colin Moriarty brought up this good point. It's like Indiana Jones never dies at the end of the movies. Nate's Indy. He's not going to die. I don't know. I really like Sullivan. I really like Elena too. I like all three of them. I don't want any of them to die. But I see Elena doing it, or Elena dying. Kind of a how to put this. What I see, it's like she dies maybe because of Nate, or because Nate couldn't get to her in time. Something like that. I know I'm being very cliched, but it's. Again, I'm spouting this kind of like off the top of my head in the moment. I'm kind of seeing something like that happening. He blames himself, and that's why he's not doing any more adventures. He's going to settle down, make it real life. Him and Sullivan. So that's me. Like I said, my flag in the ground. Elena dies. Uncharted 4. Really hope not, but I'm just saying. That's my opinion. I'm sorry, I'll get back to the news. Fasahat Salim, I believe is how that's pronounced. Game designer for Homefront: The Revolution basically explains how microtransactions will work. I know most people hate the word microtransactions. Frankly, I do too. In this quote, I don't know exactly how, I don't know, this is weird. Basically, as he's putting... it's absolutely not a pay-to-win system because everything we're providing in these resistance crates is available for free in the game through normal play. End quote. New quote, all we're offering is for those players that don't necessarily have time to invest in the game to unlock those cool things. It's basically just a time saver for them, a shortcut to unlocking things. This is from an interview he did with GameSpot. Personally, I don't like, I don't know, it's like, I don't agree with saying this is not a pay to win kind of thing, because technically, yes, they're not hiding something behind a paywall. I hate it when people do that. It's like Call of Duty. It's like, oh, get this like super powerful gun, but you gotta buy this DLC and all this. I don't like the paywall stuff. But I'm not a huge fan of this either. I like it more, but I don't like it more than if they didn't do this, because I get it. Microtransactions, blah blah. I get it from a market standpoint, but as a gamer, I don't like this. It's it's like like I put in the hard work because I'm not gonna spend money to unlock stuff if I can just unlock it playing the game. That's what I bought the game to do. I bought it to play the game, not to play online and for about 15-20 minutes at a time. So I'm not gonna drop money on this. And I'm just like, but saying it's not pay to win, basically that puts somebody at like a low skill level, but they have some great gear and they can dominate, and I just don't think it's necessarily fair. I don't know. I disagree with the fact that it's not a pay to win. It's not necessarily a pay to win, but I don't like it. I don't know. I don't like microtransactions. I don't like paywall content. I don't like I don't know. I don't mind DLC. I don't know. It's weird. I'll get into it some other time. But apparently also Dambuster Studios, this is the game's developer, plans to support the game for at least a year post-launch. This is all from an article by Timur Hussein over at GameSpot. Also in Homefront news, the Homefront beta will be running from February 11th to the 14th. February 11th? Sorry, to the 14th. This will only be on Xbox One and will undergo additional stress tests on February 29th, also on Xbox One. In the same article, we have look at what the pre-order bonuses are. We have the Revolutionary Spirit, unique skins, and instant unlocks of select weapons for the campaign. The Red Skull motorbike. You have a little motorcycle to traverse Philadelphia. Red Skull. I said that one. Golden pistol skin, and instant unlock of the marksman rifle, sniper scope, and remote explosives. And also, I'm sorry. This article kind of gave out a lot. It also gave us a look into what co-op is kind of going to be in this game. It's as far as I understand from this article, basically what you do, you and 3 other people, so you form a 4-person team called a resistance cell, and then you fight battles inside Philadelphia against I think it's the KPA. I think that's what they're called, the people, the invaders. You fight that, and you basically and how progression works is basically it's like as you progress and complete missions, you get weapon blueprints, new skills, and apparently, and I quote, rare equipment and combat gear. So again, I don't know if there's going to be any PvP, but this might. It seems like there's some PvE in this game. This game will release May 17th in North America. I can't spell. May 20th everywhere else, and it's on all PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. That article by Seth G. Macy over at IGN, and he spelled May with an N. I'm a silly guy. Moving on. I'm sorry. I don't know why I put these games together. But apparently there will be 3 paid expansions to The Division. The Division being Ubisoft's next in the Tom Clancy kind of, I don't think series, but the Tom Clancy brand. This game seems really interesting. I'm kind of pumped up for this. I saw the Rad Brad playing the beta last night, and I'm like, okay, that sold me, that beta. I'm afraid I liked Destiny, but I liked it for about a couple weeks, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I don't know, The Division seems different. It seems more RPG. It seems a little more, and I like I like third-person cover-based shooters as opposed to first-person, run and gun, fast-paced. Again, that's personal preference. I'm not saying one's better. I'm saying which one I prefer. But I'm sorry. I'll get back on point. But there's new story details for. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. The 3 paid expansions, all of this is a quote directly from the article. Expansion number 1, Underground will let players explore the uncharted underworld of New York City with up to 3 friends. And that is, the expansion is called Underground. Expansion 2, Survival, will task players with surviving as long as possible in a very hostile environment. So I'm assuming it's gonna be kind of like a horde mode. I don't know, this game's version of horde mode. And apparently there are no details, and I quote, no details were given for expansion 3, Last Stand, end quote. All of that is directly from the article. I don't know. I'm interested. I also know this game is going to be featuring free updates periodically with content and whatnot. Apparently, all 3 of these will be available as part of the season pass and will include an, and I quote, exclusive sawed-off shotgun, full set of exclusive outfits and weapon skins, as well as unique monthly content drops and events. So you can check all that out. That by Michael Pasalacqua. Again, I'm taking a shot. That's how that's pronounced. Pasalacqua, over at IGN. Sorry. This article coming from Matt Paget. I'm going with Paget over at GameSpot. Apparently, new story details have surfaced from also the Division. The story will apparently be split into kind of like three kind of like story threads, as they've kind of been explained to me, as I understood it. Creative director Julian Gerty, I think it's how it's pronounced. Gerighthy. I'm sorry. Sometime I'm gonna have to look up the phonetic spelling of some of these names. Said in an interview with Xbox On, and I quote, "Every mission that you do is going to be linked to one of those story threads, and is going to give you a little piece of the puzzle." End quote. New quote, "Once you've completed all the missions in the story thread, you'll have all the pieces of the puzzle that you'll put together and get an extra piece that will give you a different perspective on the story." So basically how I kind of see it, it's basically, you're going through these, threads, and, like each mission in a thread is giving you like a little piece on like to fit together the narrative of this story thread, and then at the end it's going to give you something that kind of brings that entire thread together, but also is going to fit in together with the other two, if that makes sense. I could be wrong, but that's how I interpret this. Let me see here. New quote, "One story thread is about the virus, who created it, why, and if it can be cured. The second revolves around the factions, how they started, and how they're going to take them on, or how you're going to take them on, sorry. The last thread is something else Gerty said he, and I quote, can't talk about too much." And that entire long quote was all from directly off the article. By, once again, Matt Paget. Thank you, Matt Paget. That's I don't know. I found that interesting and informative. And I guess my final piece of Division news for today comes from Nicole Carpenter over at IGN. Apparently, according to Ubisoft, the Division will not have mod support on PC. Actually saying, and I quote, "not a game for mods." So if you're looking to mod the Division, too bad. Actually, I don't know how that PC modding and all that works. Maybe you still can. It's just not as easy. Civilization Revolution 2 Plus for Vita has been delayed once again to later this year. I mean, it's the second delay, and this time it's going to later this year. Yeah, that's how. Sorry. That article comes from Eddie Makuch, Makuch. Again, I'm going to have to look up phonetic spellings of these names, or at GameSpot. Apparently rumors that Activision will be adding new microtransactions to Destiny have been officially put to bed by Activision. They've said it's not happening. I think it was something about like paywalling certain ammo or something like that, but yeah, it's not happening. It's from Mike Futter Futter, Futter, over at Game Informer. Destiny's next update will apparently focus on, and I quote, "celebrating the rare variety of companionship that can only be found in the heat of battle." This is according to Bungie. The game this update will release February 9th. The event that's kind of tied with this update is called Crimson Days. I think this is similar to something they did in October, close to Halloween. This game, this update will feature bug fixes and apparently a new two versus two Crucible mode called Crimson Doubles. Obviously this is the greeting card holiday in February. Oh my God, Valentine's Day. My girlfriend's gonna kill me. Holy crap. That from Nicole Carpenter over at IGN. I'm gonna get yelled at for that. Okay. Apparently a rating surfaced, I think over from a Brazilian rating bureau, for a PC version of Quantum Break. Now, this isn't confirmed. We have a PC version of Quantum Break, but if any of you want to play it on PC, you might get to. This is from Rob Crosley at GameSpot. David Gator has announced that he will be leaving BioWare. He was a writer. He worked on Star Wars KOTOR, Neverwinter Nights, Horde of the Undark, Dragon Age Origins 1 and 2. He was, I believe, the guy behind the Angry Droid. I think it's HK 37, I think, was the name of the droid in KOTOR. He did, I think, wrote Dorian and Cassandra oh my god, Dragon Age. Jeez, I'm sorry. And this is the kind of like his farewell tweet, it's directly from his Twitter page. Some news, I must sadly announce that after 17 years today is my last day at BioWare. I'll miss my team and wish everyone here the best. His Twitter. It's from Joe Juba over at Game Informer. David Gator, I'm sure all of us are wishing you the best of luck wherever it is you're going. Yeah. But apparently after I'm sorry, that was I don't segue very well. Sometimes it's just like out of nowhere. Apparently after a week, Five Nights at Freddy's World. This is, I believe, an RPG based off the game Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't understand. Either way, has been removed from Steam by its developer, Scott Cawthon. Cawthon. Phonetic spellings. God, I gotta remember that. I'm sorry. Basically, he wrote on Steam, even though the game had a very positive rating with 87%, I was not satisfied with the reviews and ratings it was getting. Basically, unlike the Steam policy where I think you have 2 weeks and only a certain amount of time played and you can return for a full money back. I believe he's worked it out with Valve. You full refund for this game if you don't want it. Apparently he's gonna update it, and I don't know if he's gonna put it back out there or what's going on with that right now. I might have something more on that later on. That was from Michael Pasalacqua over at IGN. Again, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, somebody call me out and I will be happy to change that. Again, another actual article by Michael from IGN. Atari Vault is apparently coming to Steam this spring. This is a 100-game collection of just classic Atari titles. Skip too far. One Piece Burning Blood is coming to Europe June 3rd, 2016. Apparently no specific date has been set for North America, but will be sometime in June, as confirmed by Bandai Namco. This article by Vicky Blake over at IGN. This is interesting, I guess. I mean, I don't know. This isn't the... I believe this is the first One Piece game that's coming to everything. I think it's PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I know absolutely nothing about this game. I'm gonna guess it's a fighter. It's the anime One Piece, or manga too, technically. Love both of them, really good. If you haven't, check them out. Sorry. New DLC is out for Evolve, and again, I don't segue, guys. Apparently, the new support character, Dr. Kala Kapoor, who is, and I quote, expert on monster biology. Yeah, that's interesting. Basically, she spliced her DNA with that of the monsters, so basically she has similar abilities. Her abilities include siren missiles, and this, I'm kind of reading directly from the article what these powers are. An improvement on Kraken technology, these airborne missiles home in on nearby enemies. When placed on the ground, they become more powerful, slower moving homing missiles. She also has teleporter pads, and improvements on Wraith technology. These pads create rifts that allow teammates to move instantaneously from one part of the map to another. And she also has armor reducer. Using Goliath's armor technology, the armor reducer shoots a beam which temporarily eliminates the monster's, guess what, armor. The armor quickly regenerates once the beam connection is broken. This is by Eddie Cooch over at GameSpot. Yeah, I don't know. I think you could have come up with something. I don't know. I guess teleporter pads is also kind of on the nose. I don't know. I just think you could have come up with something more clever. But who knows? I'm not creative, so I don't know. Don't listen to me. Apparently, if you want a Lego game experience on a handheld, go check out Lego Marvel's Avengers. I'm sorry, I had to look up what game exactly it was. Apparently this game is just as big and full, and it's the full game just on handhelds. Apparently this will be featured with, and I quote, no breaks, cuts, or loading screens by Steven Strom over at IGN. So like I said, if you're personally, I'm not into the Lego games. I just don't like them. I don't know. I like the first Star Wars one, the one that's the original. I don't know. I didn't like them. I'm not. Yeah, the ones after the Star Wars one. No. Okay, this is an interesting story. I kind of like this. Apparently, GameSpot or not GameSpot, GameStop, the retailer, is publishing Insomniac Games, new game, Song of the Deep. Insomniac, being the people who, actually can check out Sunset Overdrive. Actually, I've just finished recording my last part for that. I just have to get them uploaded. But, I have a Let's Play series of that running right here on this channel. Go check that out. It's a really cool series. But, they have, the people behind Sunset Overdrive and Ratchet & Clank, I think, are, like, the two big names. I love Ratchet & Clank. And actually, Ratchet & Clank reboot's coming out sometime, I think, this year. I'm not 100% on that one, but... Yeah. Apparently, Insomniac founder Ted Price is calling this and I quote, sorry, there's a lot of quotes, non-traditional developer-publisher relationship. Apparently, this game is about a young girl who builds a submarine to find her lost father. So, I don't know, it seems, this is probably going to be interesting. I trust Insomniac. And apparently this has been like a little pet project for them. It's, apparently it's going to be like a smallish game. Apparently, GameStop basically will have no creative control over this game, but they are basically taking care of promotion and advertising. Or, no, promotion and marketing and advertising. Yeah, same thing. Really. I don't know, maybe any econ people out there, tell me if I'm wrong. Personally asked me, I think that's how the developer publishers should be. I think the developers should have their creative control, and the publishers should take care of the marketing and all that other stuff. I personally, that's how I see it, but I don't know. I don't know the finer workings of the industry. It's like how the developer publishers exactly work. I'd love to know if anybody out there knows anything about that and can educate me. I haven't finished learning everything I can about video games. So anybody out there who knows more like in depth how the publisher kind of developer relationship works, please find me in those comments, or you can get a hold of me through social media down in the description below, or find me on my website also down in the description below. Sorry, I kind of broke away from the story, just kind of throw that stuff out there. Basically, this game will be available to download on PC and consoles, and a physical copy can only be purchased at GameStop. So, I think that's a nice little kind of like advertisement for GameStop. Get the Insomniac game here. This is from Terry Schwartz over at IGN. Sorry. Capcom confirms Umbrella Chronicles is coming to North America and Europe this May. If you don't know what this is, basically this is going to be a digitally only release that will focus on 1 to 6 player multiplayer. Will also contain a single player mode and a horde style kind of mode. This will be $30 on PC and PS4. This is Vicky Blake at IGN. If this is the game I think it is, because I remember hearing something about this. This is like a competitive, I think a 3 versus 3 kind of shooter, where you kind of it looked a lot better than Operation Raccoon City, but basically you both play as a different team on the other side of the map, and it's kind of stealth based because you're trying to get at and kill each other, but the thing is there's zombies in the middle, and they'll take you. You don't have silencers, and it's apparently it's a really interesting tactical experience. I've heard really good things about it, and again, if this is the game I'm thinking of, and from everything from this article, it sounds like it is. Once again, that's from Vicky Blake over at IGN. Thank you so much for that information. The spiritual successor to Mega Man. The spiritual successor to Mega Man. God damn it. Mighty Number 9 has once again been delayed. Full details you can check out here on the article by Tamoor Hussain at GameSpot. Sorry, there was a lot of information in that, and also I don't know a lot about Mighty Number 9. Maybe it's because I'm not super interested. Keiji Inafune, I'm super, I like his work. I respect Mega Man for what it was. Not a fan. I am interested in ReCore though. I know that's also being considered like a successor to Mega Man. Is that also Inafune? I think Inafune is also working on that game. I could be wrong. I don't know. Next article. Crap. Once again, that Mighty Number 9 story, you can find that. That's Tamoor Hussain at GameSpot. Go check that out. Apparently, the team that brought us Burnout has announced Dangerous Golf, and this was over on the PlayStation blog. This is interesting. Apparently, this game, you aren't going for like strokes. You're going for to score as many points by destroying as much as you can. So basically, this is an arcade kind of golf game. There's like apparently like over 100 holes, and you hit stuff, the ball catches on fire, and it's all this bouncing around and whatnot. I don't know, very like kind of an arcadey game. I don't know. I think it has its place. It's interesting. That will be a PS4 exclusive coming this May. And on to our final story. And you ask me, this is kind of what's the quote? It's and the world ended not with a bang but with a whimper. I think that's how it is. Her Story developer Sam Barlow apparently teased a sequel of the game on his Twitter by Matt Porter over at IGN. That was pretty much all the article. That's like the big main point of the article. There wasn't really a lot of subtext or in there. I don't know a lot about Her Story. I know it got a couple of awards at the Video Game Awards. I don't know. I mean, it didn't interest me. I mean, but again, if it interests you and you like it, I'm not trying to, everything I say is my opinion, and it gets thrown around a lot on the internet. It's all, it's like, well, my opinion, you aren't my opinion, you're wrong. I think everybody's opinion, your opinion is your opinion. I'm gonna state my opinion and I'll argue with it and I'll talk it, I'll discuss it, but I'm not gonna say, and I'll hell, if you give me a convincing argument, I hold the right to change my opinion. That's how I look at it. So if I ever say anything on this that you're like, whoa, you're dissing on a game I like, or if you want to say something more that I didn't say about a game or anything, you can always do that in the comments below, or again on Twitter, Facebook, or my website down in the description. I'm sorry, again, the weird plugs. But yeah, guys, that's about all the news I got for you this week. God, I have a lot of fun doing the show. Please remember, once again, that the 11th Hour is my weekly news show that goes live every Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, or at least I attempt to get it up at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, every Friday. Yeah, guys, other than this, please go check out my Let's Plays. I have I got a couple active series right now. I think I've just finished Life is Strange. I just have to upload it. Again, Sunset Overdrive, just have to upload it. I'm nearing the end of my Rise of the Tomb Raider playthrough. I have no idea where I am in my Sleeping Dogs playthrough. I've still probably not even scratched the surface of my Metal Gear Solid 5 or Fallout 4 Let's Play, and I think my Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Mad Max playthroughs are also coming to an end, and obviously this February I will be playing XCOM 2 and Far Cry Primal, both on PC. So that's kind of a look at the Let's Plays that I'm doing. I also have some more that I've completed already in the past, kind of look at what I'm doing. And like I said, the show comes up, like I said, every week, Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. You can find all my reviews, any kind of thing I post, on, my website down below. Follow me on Twitter. I do a lot of retweets, and I do a lot of, I do a lot of stuff on Twitter. It's like I find stuff I find it interesting. It's not even game related. Sometimes it's like life. It's like Joe Rogan, one of the announcers for the UFC. Honestly, I find a lot of like the stuff that he like posts really interesting. So I might retweet stuff about Paragon. You know what I mean. So you can check that out. I'll retweet like news. Maybe if it's not something big that I want to cover on the show, but I'll like throw it out on Twitter. I'm sorry. I'm going through housekeeping stuff in my mind. That's so like I said, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm sorry, my Facebook presence is really weak right now. I don't even know exactly what's been being uploaded on my my Facebook page. That's something I need to work on for the future. Kind of note to self. But everybody, thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been the 11th Hour. I am AJ Gels. This is the 11th Hour Gaming Channel, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by for the news. Come back next week for even more, guys. For even more news, guys. Thanks so much. I'm out.